Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this NAIFA-Texas Member Spotlight. My name is Debbie Gary, current board member and past president of the Pineywoods of East Texas, current board member of NAIFA-Texas, and current co-chair of the Government Relations Committee for NAIFA-Texas. Today, I am honored to be interviewing our July Spotlight member. We will be talking to fellow NAIFA Pineywoods of East Texas board member and past Texas NAIFA president, Les Littleton. Les, thanks for joining us today.
I'm glad to, Debbie. I look forward to the conversation we're about to have.
We look forward to learning more about you. First of all, tell us about yourself. Where did you grow up? What school and college did you attend? And how long have you been a NAIFA member, and what offices have you held?
Oh, that was a lot. Okay, I started out in San Antonio, basically born and raised there until we left town, but I attended all grades of school, including some colleges, before entering the Navy. And then I served on a ship called the USS Sterrett, called the DLG, which is a destroyer-like guided, meaning it had missiles on it. During that time, I married a young lady named Pat, who she and I had gone to high school together, and we've been together for 51 plus years. How long have I been a NAIFA member? Joined the association in 1980, so that makes it 41 years. Started out in Longview, Texas. I went through the local chairs of the Oil Belt Association, became president in 89, 90. I attended my first national convention in 89 in Boston, Mass. And then in 91 moved to Nacogdoches, Texas, and went through some of the chairs. But I became president in, I believe it was 93, 94 for the Oil Belt Association, and therefore attended, I guess it was my second national convention, and it was in San Antonio that year, if memory serves me right. I ran for director of TALU, which of course we're now NAIFA-Texas, in 95, won the election, and then went through the chairs and became president in 03, 04. I chaired the Texas PAC, I believe it was 2006 through 8, if memory serves right again. Currently, I'm in the chapter of NAIFA with the NAIFA Pineywoods of East Texas chapter, the same one that you're with, Debbie, of course. And I serve in the National Committeeman's position, and that pretty much covers those two bases. Did you also ask me when I started in the business, or what was that next question?
Can you tell us what got you started in the insurance business, and who some of your mentors were or are?
After I got out of the Navy, went to work and went in the finance area, and moved to Longview, Texas in about 1976, I believe it was. And in 1976. And in 78, a client of mine in the financial side approached me about insurance, and I joined Mutual of Omaha that year. And then in 80, roughly, is when I met an agent teaching an LUTC course, and he recruited me into NAIFA at the time, or TALU. But and then I moved to Nacogdoches in 90. Was involved with several agencies. I was with a Fortune 500 company for about 5 years, working the life and health area. Then with an independent agency, I continued to work the life and health and retirement. And so in 2008, I actually sold my Allstate agency, and I've been basically an independent agent, which now I'm primarily working just the senior market. Mentors, Actually, that first gentleman I spoke of that recruited me into NAIFA, teaching the LUTC course would have been one of my first mentors, and I'd like to consider the Joe Max Green of the Joe Max Green Insurance Agency back then as a mentor, and brought me on board. Moved me from Longview to Nacogdoches, and we actually went from larger cities to smaller, it seemed like. But anyhow, enjoyed that until I did open up my own agency. Then here locally, I always considered John Ruckle a mentor because he helped guide me through the workings of the state board, and then if I dealt with any national committees or anything like that, John was always very handy and available to discuss those issues. So that pretty much covers, business-wise and mentors. I believe that would be correct.
Okay, as many years as you've been a NAIFA member, what are some of the positive changes that you've seen in NAIFA, and what would you tell a new insurance agent about NAIFA as a reason to join?
From a positive standpoint, I believe over the years, and as things changed, when I was first on the board in '95, we had 18 board members, 12 directors, and 6 officer listings. And then as things changed, it wasn't just membership, but technology, forced us to reduce size and to go with the times in that regard. And I felt like NAIFA-Texas has always, technology has tried to keep up with everything to keep agents informed in a technological sense. But when you speak about new members, I feel like if we can express it in terms of what an organization statewide that's 90 plus years old and a national organization that's over 100 oh no, sorry about that. Technology does get in the way from time to time. But when you talk about an organization that has that type of age to it, been around many years, it's hard to replace what they're able to do from a political standpoint on legislative issues that impact our industry in such a great way. And also, NAIFA has provided for many, many years, whether it's MDRT or COU or so forth, that was always associated with NAIFA and generally got its start from NAIFA, how to agents become better networking and learning sales ideas through those professional organizations. And I just feel like with those two main things in themselves is a good recruiting tool for asking new agents to come aboard.
Thank you. Finally, tell us about your life outside of insurance, like hobbies you have, your family, the first job you ever had, or some other fun facts you can tell us.
Fun facts, yeah. Well, as I said early on, I've been married for 51 years. I do have one son, Tracy, who was in the business with me for about 10 years, and he decided to move to better things, shall we say. But he did finally get married at the age of 37 and gave us our only grandson, he and his wife, of course. But outside of insurance, I guess I've always been a person that has exercised in some form or another, and so I used to run a lot, ran several marathons, and but then I had some leg issues. I had to quit doing that, and so I generally now just do the total gym workout, and then I still play racquetball 3 or 4 times. But I've been playing racquetball since the early '80s, so I mean, thinking about 40 years is going, oh my gosh, I've been doing it that long, but I still play racquetball and do that. But I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't at least say that the one thing my wife enjoys doing is going down to Rockport, Texas, and seeing and fishing and seeing the coastal side of Texas, and that's our getaway. Sometimes 3 or 4 times a year, depending on time commitment and availabilities. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up, I think.
Oh, Well, Les, thanks for your time today. We really appreciate your commitment and are grateful to have you as a member of the Pineywoods of East Texas chapter and also NAIFA-Texas. It's always a pleasure to feature such a dedicated person like you. And again, thanks to Les Littleton for being our July Spotlight member.
Enjoy. Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you.